Hi, I accidentally stumbled upon the best way to learn Spanish, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So, here on this channel, I am doing everything I can to get out of my comfort zone to learn and grow because I've come to find that the what I've what has given me the most joy in life is the growth that comes from hardships, from pushing yourself to do things that you never thought you could do, and I want to embrace that. So here I am living in Ecuador, and I needed to learn Spanish. My journey's still going, so this is a as I've gotten over some big hurdles, and I'm at the point where I can navigate my daily life successfully without too much need for translation, but still not yet fluent. Uh, but my perspective has changed from one that I used to say, if I learn Spanish, blah blah blah, to a perspective now where, and this shift happened without me even I didn't even realize. I just started saying it one day, which is when I learn Spanish, when I'm bilingual, I'll get to cross that off my bucket list, sort of thing. So that's been an awesome discovery that just the mindset changed as I've embraced this process that I'm about to tell you about. So let me dive in. The first piece of this is I found I wanted like a classroom experience. I wanted to have someone guide me through the learning as opposed to purely picking it up through conversation in my day-to-day life. Being immersed is really important, and that helps a lot. But for me, I also wanted the classroom experience. So I found this place called Banana School, which is really awesome. It's like a 20-minute walk away from my apartment. So get a little exercise in the morning, and then start my lessons. I do it twice a week, from 8 to 10 a.m. And so it's a good way early in the day while my brain is fresh. And Banana School has been awesome. Everyone there, from the owners to the teachers, have all been very, very kind, very helping. It seems like they're really trying. They want to make sure that I'm getting the most out of this experience. They are one-on-one lessons, which is amazing, and it's only $10 an hour, so it doesn't break the bank. It's important to be really engaged and making sure you're putting in the effort. So again, one-on-one lessons makes it really hard not to do that. If it's not like being in a big classroom where you kind of hide in the back and not participate. So Banana School has been great. I have the luxury that I'm here in Ecuador and get to take these classes in person. But the nice thing is they also offer classes online. So anyone around the world who wants to learn Spanish can have this opportunity too. So I'm going to share the link to their website in the description in case anyone is interested in checking it out. But that's the first part of the approach that I've stumbled upon to learning Spanish. The second piece is an app that I saw recommended. I think it was on Reddit probably that I first saw it when I was looking for resources to learn Spanish. And it's an app called Language Transfer. They have a website, iOS and Android apps, and it's all free. I think they teach multiple languages, but they're most complete, and I think their first language was Spanish. So it's for English speakers who want to learn Spanish. It's kind of like a podcast format where the teacher is teaching a student. So you're hearing the interaction between the teacher and the student, and each lesson is about 10 minutes long, and there are 90 of those lessons. The approach that you're supposed to take is you pretend like you are the student, and so every time the teacher asks a question like, how would you say such and such, you pause, you think through it. Again, you got to be really making the effort. You can't. It's not about being passive and learning through osmosis. You really have to engage in this. So again, 10 minute episodes or 10 minute lessons more or less, and 90 of those 90 of those lessons. And the way that the way the founder of this program has structured these courses, and he applies it to other languages as well, is he dissects the language to come up with a I imagine he's put together a syllabus and how he wants to progress through the learning process of the language, where things build naturally on top of each other. I found that, I took high school Spanish and didn't pay a lot of attention, so hence the reason I'm having to learn it now, and not having already learned it. In my high school Spanish, it didn't. It just, they had this progression, but it didn't really feel like it built well on top of it. Each concept. In language transfer, it feels like he went out of his way to really understand, like, what are the good building blocks to make the language easier to learn as you go. On top of that, he does a really good job of spaced repetition. So, you'll learn the concept in one episode, and then a few episodes later, he brings it back to that. And he's not looking for you to memorize things. He's looking for you to come up with the intuition. He gives you like tools to help you, like, hey, like, here's this word. Here's how you can think about this word in English, and then you can derive the word in Spanish. And so, 5 episodes later, when he brings that back up, he doesn't just give you the word. He gives you a hint to how to get back to that place you were at and rediscover the word yourself. So there's the whole process is really well designed. It's a free app. I can't recommend it enough. Again, I will put this link in the description so that you can check it out. I think this combination of the formal learning that I'm doing in the classroom plus this app gives me two different. They're very different and complementary, and so I found that is working really well for me. So yeah, the classroom, the app, and then I think the secret sauce that I like, where I really accidentally discovered, is something I've been learning about recently, is that, as I'm embracing this journey of trying to grow and embrace the fact that even though as an adult our neuroplasticity isn't as it was when we were kids, we still have the possibility to learn new things and really rewire our brains. So I've been diving into that a bit more, and I came across a video that talked about how a big factor in the neuroplasticity is that needing to be you really need to be paying attention and very actively engaged, and that exercise does something, releases something in the brain. I'm not, this is where I'm not going to try to pretend like I know the research behind this. I'm just trying to relay a little bit of what seems to be working based on what I saw in this video. There's the exercise kind of unlocks some things that makes improves the possibility of rewiring your brain, of the neuroplasticity, and there's these like optimal times post workout where you can be studying, you can be trying to learn something and to get the most benefits. Now, I'm not trying to necessarily to optimize that, but I found one, as I mentioned, for Banana School, I walk to that in the morning. So I get a nice brisk 20-minute walk in. And so when I sit down for that to start the class, I'm alert. I've brushed off the haziness of the waking up early, and I'm now ready to learn, and I'm focused. And then for the when I'm oftentimes when I'm using the language transfer app, it's in the nights. I go to the gym to do strength training Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because my day job is I'm a software engineer, so I sit in front of a computer and I'm very sedentary as a result of that. So at night, I want to make sure I'm getting, or at least some point in the day tends to be at night. I want to make sure that I'm getting some movement in. So I typically go and just do a slow paced walk on the treadmill. Again, solely focused on moving my body. And during this time, I often will pop on a few episodes of or a few lessons of the language transfer app, and I think I accidentally started doing this, like getting, using the combination of exercise to help me become more alert and open up the neural plasticity, and so I'm walking on the treadmill and I'm working through a few lessons. The nice thing about this whole process, I'm not, the walking on the treadmill is really boring, but so it makes it easy for me to really lose myself and focus all my mental energy on the language transfer app, and working through all the exercises as the teacher presents them. So I'm pausing, working through in my head. Sometimes I'm trying to speak it out loud too, because I hear that that's also good. But the important thing is I'm doing a little bit of activity to wake my brain up, and I'm fully engaged in these lessons, and that's been working really well for me. So the teacher that I work with at Banana School, I guess I've worked with two teachers, and they both have given me compliments, saying that I'm progressing very fast. And I think a big part of that is because I'm doing this combination of taking classroom lessons, working through the language transfer, and sort of stumbling onto this way of really opening up the neural plasticity, and I recommend anyone else who's looking to learn Spanish to give this a shot. And I think this whole framework applies to learning lots of other things, any other language. Banana School may not be able to help you out there. Language transfer may or may not be able to help you out there, but this sort of approach, making sure you're being actively engaged, using exercise to help promote neuroplasticity, I think that's a really big benefit. And then the last piece where I have more of a luxury than some may have is, I'm immersed here in Ecuador. And in my first couple of years, I did not engage much with people, or just a bare minimum to try to get by. But now I find myself talking more and more. So I'm reinforcing everything that I've been talking about through day-to-day conversations in taxis, with the employees that work here at my apartment, out at restaurants, just random people I bump into outside. So yeah, I recommend anyone who's looking to learn Spanish to give this a shot, and let me know what you think.